Also, in your classes, there are no passes to be issued after 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Well, that's a rule we're always supposed to have. So we have our total was Wisconsin had 83 points, and Indiana, as IU, had 20 points. So if he does a different amount of push-ups, he does the total on the scoreboard each time. So he won't have a total of 83 push-ups. That'll just be how many he did in the very, very last round. So I want us to see if you can come up with an estimate on how many he did. And if we can't get that specific, maybe go with something that's we know for sure way too high, and we know for sure way too low. Talk to each other. We're working on this activity the whole time. We've got we got a video at the end that'll give us the answer, but we're gonna ask several questions about this. So I want us to see if we can figure out the total number he did. I put up here on the board exactly what you had up on the screen. So if the score goes up 7, then he does 7 push-ups for a total of 7. When they add 3 more points, the score says 10, and he does 10 more push-ups, so now he's at 17 total push-ups. When they get 7 more points, then the scoreboard says 17, and that's how many push-ups he does. Now he's done a total of 34 push-ups at that point in the game. So see if we can figure out, with 83 points in the game total, what do we think he did push-ups wise? You can work together. You can work for yourself, but I prefer you talk to each other. See what you can do. If you want to, you can write all over the page in your workbook. You can use this whole page. If you want to use the dry erase on the desk, there's lots of that. There's dry erase markers up here. You're welcome to use it absolutely anytime. Erasers are here. Anything that is white and or shiny. Like, those ones used to have dry erase markers on them, but I think somebody pulled them off. So like that one has a clear shiny table. Or I also have dry erase boards down here. Because I know sometimes we're more willing to experiment with dry erase. Yeah, that's dry erase. Okay, so see what we can figure out. See if we know a number that might be too high, a number that's too low, what we think an estimate might be. Give it a shot. Boop. Because we're going to write them down. And then we'll give a little bit more information, then we'll try again. It'll be a little more, then we'll try again. Or if there's things you wish you knew, we can do that. If you want to use one of my calculators, I got the calculators out. There's a bin over here and there's a bin up here. You're welcome to use a calculator. See what we can come up with. Yes, dear. Oh, let me put the total up here. There we go. That way we have our final score up there, so you can look at that. So every time the score changes, he does more push-ups.
What, it was 83?
Just for Wisconsin, not for, he doesn't do when Indiana score changes. Good question, though. Yes,
So you say he does 7, and he score another 7,
Mhm.
and add on to what they already have.
Yep.
So he just
Maybe. As like, y'all will find me slightly frustrated on this because I will not answer your questions directly, or will be lots of maybes, or we'll see. Let's find out. This is where you learn how I kind of feel all in this class. Or is there things we wish we knew?
How many times they scored?
How many times they scored would probably be helpful, right? So we'll see. Look at that in a second. See if we can come up with a broad estimate or something that we know is definitely too low. Something we know is definitely too high.
1 in 100. Definitely too low. They can score 100.
But looking at push-ups.
Oh,
Because so we're looking at how many total push-ups he would have done.
So like, if it's where they could score like
Mm-hmm.
not
It's with this one, they're only scoring in chunks of 7 and 3. So it's just touchdowns and whatever the 3-pointer one is called. Go Sports. So it's only in chunks of 7 and 3. I'll give you guys that. And I know there's other ways to get points, but in this game, the only way they got points is in 7s and 3s. And our 7s are touchdown, and then I think it's technically field goals that they did. I don't know. They did a thing. Huzzah them for the thing. Go Sports. Like I said, I know enough about sports to know when the band stands up and when the band sits down. And after both of those, they stand up and we play, and then we sit back down. Yeah, 9. Now I heard at least one estimate, a definite little of 1. And he said briefly, definitely high was going to be probably maybe 100. So I'm just going to put down whatever estimates we have, and we can think about them. So what do we think? All right, I know we're a little stuck on this one. So I'm going to give you a little bit more information. So when we're looking down here at the how many touchdowns, how many field goals, what if I told you that there were 11 touchdowns? And helps if I actually have my book to look at. Where did I put it? I have it. I believe it's 11 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
Oh.
So there's 11 touchdowns and 2 field goals. See if that helps. If you need to, make a list like this. See what we can get from something like this. You can just fill it in and like plug it out. Like that's okay. That's a voucher. Calculators, I got one a bin up there and a bin over there. A what? A notebook or a rule book? A rule book. So when the score changes, he doesn't have many push-ups for a total. And then we're going to get 3 more points. The score now says 10. And so just 10 more push-ups. So he's now at 17 total push-ups. Then they score 7 more points. So the scoreboard says 17. He did 17 push-ups. And now he's at a grand total of 34 push-ups. So if they did another one, and the next thing they did was, we got my markers, just put them over here. So I'm good at keeping track. So let's say theoretically the next one was another touchdown, and they added another 7. I don't know, I'm making it up, I don't know what. So they added another 7, then they would have the score of 24, so he's doing 24 more push-ups. So now he's at a total of 58. Yes. Yes. Okay. So there's lots of different ways to think about this, but I want you to give this a shot, see what we can come up with. See if we can come up with an estimate. Maybe way too high, maybe way too low. What's going on? Where's my water? I keep losing stuff. See what we can do. What do we think? Any other estimates? Way too highs, way too lows? Do you want to make any adjustments? What do we have? What do you think?
If he did 11, if there was 11 touchdowns and there's 7 points,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so lost. Like,
That's okay. I was like, we're gonna be working through it. Like, we're gonna get through the whole thing. Like, we gonna get all the way to the answer. So we know for sure he's done at least how many push-ups?
83.
At least 83. Definitely too low to have 83. I don't know where the heck my stylus wandered off to, but it wandered, so. Fun times. Backup stylus. I'm losing things. So definitely too low would be 83. Because we know he did that at the very least in the last round. Because at the very last time when their scoreboard said 83, he did 83 push-ups, which is a lot. So do we think this estimate of 100 is probably a little bit off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's probably a little off. Because we know at the very least in the last round it was 83. So what would be something helpful to know?
There's 4 quarters.
There's 4 quarters.
When did he score the 3?
Say that again.
When did he score that? When did they score the
When did they have the 3? So what order did it happen? I wonder if order matters. What do you think?
Still all going up to 83.
It's still all going to add up to 83 total points, but I wonder, even if we took a small portion like that, what if we put that 3 at the very, very end? Let me see. Because I wonder if it makes a difference. So maybe they missed field goals a couple times. So what if they did 7, 7, 7, and then did the 3? So then we'd have our score of 7, and you'd have a total of 7. Our score would be 14, and we do 21 as a total. Our score now would be 21, and he did 42. And then plus 3, we're still at our score of 24. But now we're doing 24 more push-ups, so we're up to 66. So does the order matter in what order they put these pieces?
No.
I mean, those are the same scores. I'm at the score of 24. But in one case, he's done 66 push-ups. In one case, he's done 58. So do we think that, so is the score matter, or does the order matter? Yeah, the order matters. Because they're kind of leaning back on each other. So if order matters, would it help to know what order things were scored in?
Yeah.
And kind of like knowing what the score was throughout the game? Oh, man, I'm so shocked you asked me for that information. I am so shocked. I definitely do not have laminated copies of exactly what was scored the entire game. Oh, my God. Sorry, I'm a millennial. I speak sarcasm is my native language. All right, so here is, I'm just giving a copy to each of you guys. You guys can work together. That's totally fine. Work with each other. It has the whole score. It includes both teams and when their score changes. Now, Bucky only does push-ups when Wisconsin's team score changes. So it doesn't matter what happened to IU's score after, while they were getting wall-lipped.
That's kind of embarrassing. You gotta come back to Indiana.
83 to 20.
And that's, yeah.
They got wall-lipped. So that's a lot. So see if you can figure out the total number that Bucky did. Total number. Look at what happens on the screen. See if we can figure it out. And then.
Has anybody ever figured this out?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah. I always get, I mean, not usually till this part is where we'll start getting right answers. But I've never had anybody get before that part.
Ooh.
So now that we get the whole thing and what order it's happening in, dude, grab a calculator. You don't gotta have by hand.
Where? Oh.
Calculators, use them. There's bucket up here, there's bucket right there. Grab a calculator, use it. You don't have to add by hand. No, I'm not a delivery person. Stand up, use your legs, stretch your legs, get your steps in. I walked like 8 miles yesterday at Gen Con. I'm tired.
Where?
Gen Con. The gaming convention downtown is all about board games and dice and things. Okay, we got new dice.
If it rolls on 9, what do I get? That's my birthday.
Nothing. You get to go, yay, you landed on a 9. It landed on a 9.
Hey, yeah, you landed on 9.
See? That was a 9. Like, it was right there.
That was
But
fine.
this is, we'll do things with dice later on when we get, especially when we get into stats.
Stat.
We'll do some stat stuff. Not AP stat stuff. Algebra 2 stat stuff. And we have a computer program that does most of the math for us. I want to teach you how to use it. Like, it's really cool. I like it. Just say I can't write you past in the last after 2 o'clock. We actually only wind up with about 10 minutes in this period where I'm allowed to write you passes. Between 1:53 and 2 o'clock.
7 minutes. Is it?
You did me dirty.
1:49 and 2 o'clock, so 11 minutes. That is literally the only time I'm allowed to write passes. And then they put a fire drill in that time window.
That's lame.
I know. They never do 7th period drills. This is literally the first time we've ever had a 7th period fire drill in the 6 years I've been here. Literally the first time. And I was going, why?
What was that on Friday?
Huh?
Why didn't you?
They didn't tell us. Probably there was some sort of discipline issue where the administrators were called out to do something. I don't know.
Happened.
It happens. When you get an estimate, let me know. Or when you think you know, let me know what you get. You will know the real answer by the end. You'll know how many push-ups Bucky was supposed to do.
How much is this paper worth?
What do you mean worth? It is worth all of the knowledge in the world.
Is it?
I know.
Well, I'm talking about points wise.
I will not collect the notebooks to grade them.
Not great.
No. This is the equivalent of taking notes.
Okay.
This is what we do instead of notes in here is I make you think activities. Mwahahaha. I know, I'm horrifyingly cruel. How dare I? I weep. Like I said, sarcasm is my native language. All right. I was going to say, these are all the discussions we're supposed to have this year. From the curriculum. Where the heck did my stylus go? There's not on my desk. It's irking me. I put it over here in the room. What do you got? That's okay. 573 is our first option up here.
That was mine going to say that.
Okay, what are you going to say? So somebody tell me to get something different. That's okay. So first guess down is 573. Let me know if you get something different, and that's okay. That doesn't mean
Ooh, you
anything. I'm not telling you if you're right or wrong. I was putting the options down. What do you think? Take like 2 more minutes, because I don't want us to like run out of time. So we're thinking 573 maybe.
That's a lot of push-ups.
That's a lot of push-ups.
Oh no.
I don't want to do, especially if you think about in the mascot. Like it's the mascot, like the mascot.
Why don't we have a mascot?
Because
Really?
they're trying, but those suits are 1, expensive, and 2, nasty. They get so gross.
I went to Diane like a couple weeks ago, not a couple weeks ago, a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and they had a mascot. When I went there was no mascot, but there's a mascot.
Nice. Also, trying to think about what ours would be.
A red devil.
Well, I know, but look at like what?
Go back there.
The only one I've actually seen this personified was like the baby one. Oh, 5:30. All right, we got another guess at 5:30. See what we think. Anybody got something different than that?
I got 573.
573, cool. Got that one up there. We've had a few votes for that one. What do you think?
Jesus Christ.
Unfortunately, prayer will not help with this one. I mean, numbers existed, but football didn't. So. All right, we ready? Let's see what. I got a boop. Oh. Let's take a look.
I'd rather throw out 573 t-shirts than
Oh,
that
that-
many push-ups.
That would be a lot. There we go. So let's see. What's happening?
With Bucky having to do push-ups equal to the number of points on the Wisconsin scoreboard every time there was a new score, that turns out to be a total of 573 push-ups. In a big
573 was
plushie
right.
suit with a giant fur head on. Here's the mystery. After Wisconsin scored its 76th point, here's what happened. Bucky Badger left the stadium after having done only 414 push-ups. 6 minutes later, Bucky, or someone wearing the same Bucky suit, came back and finished all the push-ups expected of him or her, all 573 of them, by the time the Badgers were done running up the score against poor Indiana. Was it the same Bucky? Whoever came out in the Bucky suit the second time seemed
Those are the
remarkably
Bucky
refreshed and push-up
push-ups.
capable, unlike the Bucky Badger that left just a few minutes before. Is one college mascot depictor capable of doing 573 crowd-pleasing push-ups while wearing a big plushy Badger suit and a giant fur head? So far, the University of Wisconsin Athletics Department is not talking, at least to us. For us, Bucky the Badger gate is still unresolved. Next week, the Badgers play Michigan. We're not planning on DNA testing the mascot for that occasion, but we will be watching.
She's kidding on that part. But that is a real news show. That was a real news story that they did in 2010. So that is the thing that happens. What we're going to be doing and why we actually really kind of talk about that is this lets us think about math in a slightly different context because there's different ways we can get to that score. There's lots of different ways through this, and you guys went through several of those options. I know we were frustrated with this, and the fact that I wasn't answering any questions makes it awfully irksome. You'll get used to it. But it's what we're going to be doing. A lot of this is going to be experimenting. There's going to be a lot of times where I do not directly answer your question, especially about, is this right? Because a lot of this is going to be exploration. So we're going to be heading into the rest of this chapter starting tomorrow, where we're going to keep working with expressions and a lot of that number sense where we're going to have to make sure we know where things are connecting and how they're connecting. So we're going to be heading into that pretty shortly. I'm just putting a reminder up here. The Canvas homework of homework 0 is called What Makes You Happy. It is technically due tomorrow, and you should have access to that. They're all up on Canvas. You're going to have one other homework this week. I will try and always get the homeworks for the week up here. So you guys are up in this spot. If we ever have papers that I hand out, they'll be in this bin. Like I said, we will have like 5 to 6 papers in this semester. You're most of it. But it'll be up here. So we'll have one other homework assignment this week, and then there's 2 others in this chapter. So there's a grand total of 4 between now and August 22nd.
What makes you happy?
The homework 0, it's up on Canvas, and mostly it's making sure you know that you're in the right Canvas course. You can upload things to it, and let me get to know you just a little bit. There's literally no math in What Makes You Happy, and homework 1, Math Magic, we'll talk about that not tomorrow, but the next day. Yeah, Wednesday, and then it'll be due on Thursday, because it's pretty short. But our first chapter test is on August 22nd, and you guys have 4 minutes to the end of the period. So if you did not get to homework 0, you can do so if you want to right now, because I always try and give you guys time. Oh, that drained that battery did.
I feel very accomplished now.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good.